TikTok.
TINTtalk here, like and subscribe. And I'll give you guys a little tip here when I'm placing my windows, because a lot of you seem to be having trouble shrinking the windshields and so in the back glasses. So I'm going to just show you this on the windshield because it applies to the back glasses also. Now, when I'm placing a window, I make sure that the first thing I do, I pull the tint up, I grab my card, and I swipe all the way across and I let it relax. So now everything's naturally relaxed. There's nothing aggressive on here. There are no aggressive fingers. You know, I don't have any side fingers poking out right here. The film is just very naturally relaxed, as you can see. That's what you make sure you want to do that on both sides. If I come over to this other side, you know, I do the same thing, and I'll just show you guys. I lift it up. I get the tension out, because lifting it up is going to relieve all the tension. It's going to let the film relax naturally. Now, boom, I'm not pulling the mess out of it or anything like that. I'm letting it relax naturally. So now you see on this side, it looks very, very, very simple to shrink. Now, instead of seeing all these aggressive fingers and everything like that, and you're so overwhelmed, now you're very relaxed. So as for the driver windows, and the passenger windows, it's a little different how I do everything. Now, especially for these Camrys, what you want to do is create as much tension as you can in a safe way possible. So this is what I do. When I place the window on here, and then I'll go ahead, and when I'm placing it, I'll pull this part up and I'll rainbow everything, all the tension down. Boom. So now I have these very spiky, kind of aggressive fingers, but yet, you know, they're pretty subtle. So now I got all the, now all my fingers that were possibly hiding at the top of the film, they're at the bottom now. So that's what that does. And you can pull, you come back, do it for the same side, boom. And so some of your fingers will be hiding on the side. So you can pull this side up and you can lift it up. And now you can orchestrate those fingers down. So now you have your very tall fingers here. Now, you don't necessarily want to just shrink this all the way from the top. What you can do is bop them down a little bit, and you can make another finger taller. It'll transition to another finger. You can create one here. There are a lot of things you can do to transition the tension to another finger. But that's kind of what I do to make sure I shrink all the fingers out. And still, when I'm going over it, I'll still do a little snap shrink after, a little hybrid snap shrink. So I'll go ahead and shrink this whole car, and let's see what you guys think about it. And yeah, so all the talking is done. We're just gonna go at it. So if you're shrinking these back glasses or windshields, always do the highest point first, because you don't want to lock your tension towards the edges. So you want to shrink the edges if you need to. If it's a really aggressive windshield or back glass, you want to shrink the edges kind of first if you need to, or if you run into a jam ever like that. So I always go to my highest points and hit those first, especially if they're holding a lot of tension, because if you have so much tension at a high point here and everything else is shrunk down here, you can't transfer a load of tension back over to the other side, if that makes sense. So if I have a finger that's this high and I've shrunk all the way down there, the finger has nowhere else to go. I literally have to compress this small section all the way down, and you don't want to do that. So that's a big reason why a lot of you guys out there are creasing things also. shrinking, staging it correctly, and understanding, you know, fingers and the tension and where the tension is going to transfer. A lot of people don't talk about that a lot. They don't talk about transferring tension. Like, look at, if you can see this on the camera, this finger way down here, it's really big. Like, if I just shrink that just like that, it'll compress so much to where it just creases. So I want to make sure that I don't shrink this too much. I not yet, at least, but I'll make sure when I go on that side, I shrink this one first, because I don't want too much tension to lock up. I need the tension to be able to transfer somewhere. So just remember that, especially for a lot of newcomers out there, you don't want to sit there and have so much tension at a high point in one area, and then you've locked your, you can't do anything, you know. So this is now you don't have to layer these fingers the way I did, because this is extremely aggressive and it's probably would require a little bit more advanced shrinking. But you know, if you so I don't do it like this every time, but you know, if you see a really big finger like this, you can hit the top of it, right? Boom, you can go halfway, hit it down halfway, and then what you want to do is blow air under it. Now you blow air under it and you hit it down halfway. You blow air under and you hit it down halfway, and now you're good. And you see this finger here, and this is what I'm talking about. So this is what I did wrong, even while showing you guys a step there. Now I'm going to show you guys. I'm going to keep this finger here, right? And I'm going to delete all the other, you know, tension gaps where it can go. So it's going to have to find a pocket on its own to transfer to. And it makes it it's shrinkable, but it makes it very difficult when you delete all the other pockets. So right here, I have it to where at a point now to where the tension can't really pop up anywhere but damn near over here. It can pop up somewhere else, but for the most part, this one is probably going to alleviate. It's probably going to pop up somewhere else because it's too much tension in one single spot. So we can see how this goes. Yeah, so something like this, boom, you're going to have to heat that. It's just, look at how this is. When the fingers get really, really fat like that, you can pop some air under them. Hit the air under, boom. And you see the tension, look at, the finger has nowhere to go. So it's creating this big U line. So instead of it just popping up here, popping up on this side, it cannot do that. So the only way it can alleviate itself is to just create a big U line. And what you can do, if you don't want to shrink this U line, you can sit here, put your finger here, and you could help the finger out yourself manually, boom. Now see, it still doesn't have anywhere to go, so it's creating me a tension line right here because it's still so super compressed. But it's easier to shrink out if you need to do that. And I always snap shrink. I have a whole video on this one also. You can find that in my I'll probably drop it in my description box, but this is a little bit more advanced, so I won't be going over that too much. But so yeah, if you're a beginner or anything like that and you want to be able to shrink any type of window, I would always reference this video when you run into a jam. But besides that, you guys always like, subscribe. I'm out. Peace.